Hello everyone, it's Hans from Kunidev. In today's tutorial, we are going to talk about one of the most underrated technique or tips you can learn early in your Unity journey as a beginners, which is the folder and hierarchy management. Well, it might sound not too exciting, but trust me, learning this now will save you tons of time, frustrations, and chaos down the line. And you will thank yourself because you have done this early management early in your game project. So when you first start making project game, it's tempting to throw everything into one big folder and move on. So for example, usually when we start out, we have an assets here, and we tend to just drag it all and just put it in this kind of project assets. First, it may look easier to just choose everything inside one folder. So for example, I want to add a background. I just add a 2D object sprites, drag in the background here, okay, and you got yourself a new background here. I want to have another, for example, character. I just drag in and drop in another character, okay, one more character. Maybe I want to add another enemy, just add another one, okay, and without you noticing, everything is just simple and fast early, but soon or later your project will look something like this. Okay, you see in your hierarchy tab here, there are so many game objects without a proper naming, and your assets is all in one places. And once your project starts to grow, there will be more and more assets like scripts, sounds, graphics. So this is really bad practice, because it will be harder and harder for you to find where is the exact graphic that you want to edit, where the exact sounds that you want to add, and it will be a nightmare to find all of this stuff without a proper naming convention. So pro tips number one, put all of your graphics, audio, script into its proper folder. So for example, you can see there's a script folder here that I already created. There's a graphic folder that I already created here, and we can create a new folder, which is, let's write sound. Okay, so remember, put all the specific assets into its specific folder. So let's try this. Let's just click all the sound and put it in the sound. Put all the graphics into the graphic sound. Put all the graphics into its graphic folder, okay, and put all the scripts into the scripts folder. And this is the first layer of folder management. Eventually, when your game starts to grow to add more feature, you will need a lot of script with a different kind of feature. So it's best for you to create a separate folder for each specific script section or categories. So for example, like this, we can create a new folder, enemy, a new folder for UI, a new folder for player, and a new folder for settings. So you can drag each script into its specific folder. And create one more folder for sound. And you can do it the same to the graphics. So for example, you can create a folder for BG or background. You can create folder for character. So just put all the background in the background, character in the character. And sound also the same. You can create a folder for music and folder for the SFX. And that's it for the folder management. Now you can see your graphics already in a good places, good foldering system. When you want to find the background, you can go to background folder. You want to find the character, go to character folder. And if you want to change the script of enemy, you go to the enemy folder, player, sound, setting, etc. And the next thing is the hierarchy management. From time to time, you will tends to create a lot of game objects. So for example, you can create empty game object you don't know. You want to have a fast prototyping, you just add a game object, add component, rigid body, add just to make it run fast. But then it will be something so, and it will be sooner become so messy, something like this. And this is not a good practice for the hierarchy management. I'm gonna give you some example for the good hierarchy management from my own game project. Okay, now this looks like there's only a few game object, but actually inside of this game object I have a lot of child object within it. This is used to contain all the necessary stuff related to that game object. So for example, environment stuff, environment game object will hold all things about environment. The UI canvas game object will host all the things about UI object. The manager used to contain all the manager, and the arena data, the pawn data, etc. So by doing all these kind of things, you will find which game object that you want to edit, which game object that has some kind of problems or bugs that you have to fix, and it will be easier for you to locate. Oh, there's a problem with the camera size. You can just go to the manager, go to the save load, go to the upgrades, and everything is faster and easier compared to something like this. And remember, you have to put a good naming convention here, so you don't so never just write game object 1 slimer 050, something like that. It's a really bad practice here. Okay, for the recap, put all of the files or assets that you want to use in your project in its own specific folder. For example, graphics, BG folder, character folder, script, add a new enemy script folder, player folder. And this habit that you do it early in your, and if this habit you have done it early in your game dev journey, it will help you a lot when your project starts to grow and your project starts to become more complex. So good organization is a sign of a serious developer, even if you are just starting. So take pride in your project, even at the folder level. Well, if you found this helpful, leave a like and subscribe for more Unity tips. Got any questions? You can drop it below on the comments. I think that's all for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.